Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Tito.
How many paranoids does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
Who wants to know?
I do.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
Hello and welcome to Three Geeky Dads, the show where you don't have to be completely insane to enjoy, but it helps. I am Mark, and with me as always are the tick and tack to my toe,
Derek.
And Brian?
And what show would be complete without the musings of our own Bosley to the rest of us angels, Tito.
Hello. Bosley.
But a
Topical.
cool, yeah.
Well, it's topical.
We were talking about it earlier.
earlier.
That's
right.
completely
wow.
coincidental.
Oh.
It's a strange world we live in.
Yes,
I have
so
to get
coincidence.
out of Werner Herzog mode now. I'm going to read this whole thing like Werner Herzog. And
There
piss
are
the
no
listeners
coincidences, Mac.
off. Tonight we continue our sorry.
The enormity of their stupidity is just overwhelming.
Tonight we continue our In the March of Madness month with a film that features closed down asylums, creepy voices, scary hallways, secretive coin collecting, and David Caruso trying his best.
Failing.
This is the 2001 thriller Session 9, the story about a group of asbestos removal workers who start work at an abandoned asylum in Danvers, Massachusetts, and come to find something more horrific than high taxes, Route 24, and middle-aged Red Sox fans with unfortunate tattoos. But before we grab our flashlights, put on our protective masks, and wondered what the hell happened to Josh Lucas's career, our own creepy cook of culinary crazies, Brian Roast Beast Ramsey.
Hello.
That is Brian. He has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off. All right, last time. All right, go ahead.
I thought you had more to add.
I have nothing.
Okay.
I am nothing.
By the way, it's very easy to hypnotize a chicken. They're very prone to hypnosis. And in 1 or 2 films, I've actually shown that.
As Mark mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the movie Session 9, a film that does take place in the old abandoned Danvers Mental Hospital. A movie that was filmed practically in our own backyard because Danvers is just north of Boston, which means it's only about an hour from where we are now. That got us to thinking about other movies that have been filmed and take place in our... I'm going to start that one again.
Okay.
That got us thinking about other movies that have been filmed and take place in and around the New England area. So here are our picks for our favorite films that take place in our backyards. Gentlemen.
Nice.
Nice.
Brian started last week, so I believe
Tito, it's your turn.
you are up.
All right.
All right.
This is a personal favorite of mine. It's 1986's One Crazy Summer.
Nice. That was a runner-up of mine in case. Yeah.
Demi Moore and
Yeah, John Cusack, Demi Moore, Joel Murray, the Forgotten Murray.
That's right. Joel Murray, the Forgotten Murray.
Bobcats.
Was that the only thing he did?
I think he's also in Scrooged.
He's the brother, right?
Because they're the two brothers
Oh,
having
that's
dinner.
Oh, okay.
There's the younger one, and then Joel Murray's the other brother sitting on the couch that actually isn't playing his brother. But yeah, it's about John Cusack, who is terrible at basketball, but his name is Hoops. And he's trying to get into the Rhode Island School of Design, so he's got to work on this project over the summer.
Another connection.
Yeah, and his buddy takes him to Nantucket to, see
Suck
if he
it.
can have some fun.
There once was a
I
man
knew
from
a man from
He can
Nantucket.
have some fun. And it's what's this guy's name? Savage Steve Holland. film.
Yeah.
And he did, what was the other one?
Better Off Dead,
Better Off
also with John
Dead.
Cusack.
And
Came
How to
out
Get
2
Into
years before
College.
that. Yeah.
Which are also two fun movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite New England films. And I like the connection to Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mark.
Awesome. I don't get the bonus because it's not a real place, but it is a fake place in Massachusetts.
Oh.
And it's the Mummy sequels, the Mummy's Hand, and I believe the Mummy's Tomb or the
Take place
Mummy's
in-
Ghost.
Yeah.
It takes place in Mapleton, Massachusetts.
I thought one of
I've
them took
been
place
there.
in Connecticut, no?
Maybe the last one, but there's definitely one or
Okay.
two in Mapleton, Massachusetts.
Definitely New
because
England.
Lovely
He
place.
is known as the Mapleton Monster, and I just thought it was awesome. What I like about this is
The monsters that do on Mapleton.
I am a huge classic monsters fan, and it's really cool to have one in my own backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a classic monster in Massachusetts. It's not Transylvania. It's not Bavaria. There's a mummy in my closet. There's a mummy in my mummy came in my house. So that's mine.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, and my runner-up is Arkham, Massachusetts, from Reanimator.
Nice.
Took me a second.
Yeah, yep, that's a good one too.
Miskatonic University,
Yes, it
Mr. Herbert West. Herbert West resides in the fictional, but still, it's cool because it's another horror icon close to home for me.
Yeah, well, that was created by H.P. Lovecraft, who was a native of Providence.
And also a horrible person.
Well, yes, he was racist.
Very
and,
creative.
Yeah.
But
Not great.
It was a different time.
It was.
It was a different. A lot of tentacles during that time.
Lots of tentacles.
He invented hentai.
and yet he never did. Yeah, he never did a tentacle porn.
No, he never did. No. If he were alive today, he'd be down with that shit.
Wow.
For sure. He would be writing porn. He'd be like, "This is great," because that's how H.P. Lovecraft sounds. This is great. H.P. Lovecraft is Don Knotts. This is fantastic. Andy, look at
People
this.
love my book.
People love me. Derek.
Mine is Knives Out. Aside from being one of my favorite movies and helping to invigorate my love for the whodunit genre, Knives Out, filmed in the home state of Captain America and myself. Back in 2018, Ryan Johnson and his crew filmed in towns like Easton, Marlborough, Natick, Wellesley, Maynard. Rhymes with Reynard. Not the same, though. Waltham and Medfield, with the majority
Brother Maynard. Consult the Book of Armaments.
with the majority of the interior shots done at the Ames Mansion in Borderland State Park. Much like Clue, taking place in New England, as well as lots of other mysteries in old houses like Shutter Island, to name a couple. Knives Out highlights what Jessica Fletcher has shown to be true, that New England is the murder mystery capital of the world.
She's not wrong.
Yeah. And my runner-up was The Departed.
I was thinking that one. Yeah.
I worked at a place. Actually, I worked near two places where they filmed, and I remember them filming that and being really excited.
Yeah. It's Shutter Island, too. Scorsese's movie was filmed in Taunton, I know, not far from here. I don't know if it actually took place in Massachusetts, but it was definitely filmed here.
Off the coast of, I
know it was filmed in
off the coast
Taunton.
of Maine, I think, or something.
That's where it took place? Definitely New England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my
they filmed it at the
friends
Taunton. Do they have a name for that, or is it just the Taunton Hospital, Taunton Mental Hospital?
I'm not sure.
Catchy.
All of Taunton is a mental hospital.
That's-
Ask my wife. She grew up there.
One of my friends was a guard in that movie, a prison guard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to my friend's friend, Derek. I guess you could call him my friend, too. I've hung out with him.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I would hope you'd. We've been doing a podcast. For
No,
4
this
years
is
together.
this is like Derek number 3. I know a lot of Dereks.
Yeah, no, he's the cool Derek. Oh, no.
No, sir. We know who the cool Derek
That's
is.
right, Derek Rook.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. Derek Rook. Shout out to Derek Rook.
Cheater.
Brian?
Jeter. And you call yourself a New Englander.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking Yankee Clipper.
Good.
All right, so I'm going with The Trouble with Harry, 1955's Alfred Hitchcock
I knew
dark
you were going to
comedy.
pick this
I thought
one.
you would,
I
yeah.
knew as
Yep.
soon as I saw it. I'm
My,
like, oh,
one of my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movies. It's his only dark comedy. It's his only comedy. It takes place in Craftsbury, Vermont. It's a beautiful fall day. The scenery is awesome in that movie. Lends itself to hunting, hiking, sketching, and burying of the odd dead body over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
The movie stars Shirley MacLaine. It's her film debut. Jerry Mathers in his film debut as he plays her son. And continuing with the Charlie's Angels connection, John Forsythe.
Oh, that's right.
Is the artist in that movie.
He's
and
Charlie.
Yeah,
Right?
he plays Charlie later on in
Charlie.
Charlie's Angels. He's the voice of Charlie
in
the TV show.
Scrooge,
Morning,
too.
Angels.
Speaking, going back to Scrooge.
Oh, that's
And-
right.
yeah,
That's right.
see?
He's the Marley.
Lou Hayward, your old boss.
It all connects, man. It all connects.
Wow.
All connects.
Are you all informed at home? Huh?
So I have a few runners up. I had Jaws, which I'm surprised you did not
I
pick.
did not.
I left that one alone,
Only
too.
because
I really
picked
thought you were gonna-
Jaws last week.
Yeah, I
And
know,
and
but
I
still,
picked Jaws a lot. And that would probably be the top. Although I really genuinely do watch these Mummy sequels and Reanimator more. So.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised no one picked Jaws. I thought somebody was going. I didn't think Tito.
I
we,
left it
we
alone
didn't
because
we
I know
didn't
it's not a
take
huge
we didn't
fan.
pick it because we thought you were going to pick it.
Yeah.
I think.
There's certain things I stay away from.
Yeah.
Because
I
of
think,
me?
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
I
go
did
with
have it as a runners up.
God,
in
I'm
case.
like a plague on this.
I wasn't going to
podcast.
pick Jaws.
I knew.
If it makes
No,
you feel
yeah,
any
I know.
better.
You're fucked. You're
He's a
fuck
pox
child.
on your podcast.
I also have Tito's One Crazy Summer as my other runners up, and Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
filmed in Rhode Island.
Yes,
wasn't
it was filmed in Rhode Island.
Newport, I
Yep,
think?
Right.
yep. Wes Anderson's movie starring
Is Bill Murray in that too?
he is Francis McDormand and
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
As the Beaver.
Yeah, and a lot of Wes Anderson's regular stable of actors.
I'm surprised you didn't. Derek, your number one was not Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
thought
mean,
that too. I stayed away
I
from
figured that
Hocus
was gonna be
Pocus,
yours, yeah.
and especially Hocus Pocus 2, which was filmed
Yeah.
like 10 minutes from
yeah.
here
No,
in Lincoln, Rhode
definitely
Island.
runners up. Yeah. I just
The Walgreens.
the Walgreens
The
movie.
Walgreens.
The Walgreens. There's a giant Walgreens ad. It was
First there was Spirit Halloween, the movie, and
Yeah,
then there was
and
Walgreens.
Walgreens.
Did somebody say Goodwill Hunting? Because I do like Goodwill
Yeah,
Hunting.
I didn't say
No
well.
one said
I
Goodwill Hunting.
I thought about that one.
Yeah.
My runner-up was The Town. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan.
Oh, that's a good
That
one.
was a good one too.
Chow?
Yep.
I almost went with the a civil action. I forget what town it was where they had a big chemicals that got in the ground and was like a whole town was affected and got all kinds of diseases. And he
Sounds
played-
like Aaron Brockovich.
it was like some kind of similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and John Travolta played the lawyer that came in and like fought for the town and you know settled with them as far and gotten them all kinds of money for
What's it called?
A civil action.
Civil action.
Yeah, and I remember my mom was working at
Is that the late 90s?
No.
Early 2000s?
early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, because my mom was
98.
working.
It was 98.
it really?
Okay.
Oh, well, oh
Yeah.
yeah. So I still was in high. Yeah, I was in high school because my mom was working at a law office, and that's where like he filmed a scene at their law office.
Oh, nice.
And I got the Grease soundtrack and the Pulp Fiction soundtrack autographed by him.
Nice. Look at you. Derek's brushed with greatness.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing Cox Internet
doing
commercials now.
things
You know, with Faison and
Yeah, he's making,
yeah,
he's
Zach
making
Braff.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Craig Robinson's fine, then clearly the
Travolta.
cast of
Travolta's
Scrubs are
finer
okay.
than fine.
Travolta's not fine.
He's finer than
No,
fine.
he's not
Financially, I think he's fine.
Oh, financially
Outside
he's
of
okay.
that.
Mentally,
Outside of that,
not so
yeah, no,
much.
he's got his own private plane in his driveway, for Christ's
it.
sake.
And that's the thing. He drives it around. He doesn't fly it. He just
It's going to be really inconvenient during a parade. No, I got to get out to work.
Was that you, John Travolta?
Where?
That wasn't very good. I'm sorry.
Where? What?
Oh, was
Why?
that the neighbor of John Travolta?
No, that was John Travolta. I got to get out to. It's terrible.
No,
I
it
can't.
sounded like John Travolta. Then I was like,
Hey.
is he doing John Travolta's
like-
neighbor?
It was
or
when he
John
was a
Travolta?
sweat hog.
Yeah. Ba, 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 burrito. They can't all be great. Spur of the moment.
He's going to take that home and practice that. He's
I
gonna
am.
polish it and bring
Yeah,
it back.
thanks.
Yeah, next week it's going to be all Travolta. It's going to be a conversation between John Travolta and Werner Herzog.
Get the shot! I'll just say that from Pulp Fiction over and over. Get the shot! I ain't fucking stopping you.
Yes, yes, yes. I do believe that you are blessed by God.
It was his soul in the briefcase. That is what the hitmen were after.
All right.
That's
all
our.
of them, right?
Those
Yeah,
are our
it's
appetizers.
delicious.
All right, that was
appetizer.
delicious and a little crazy, a little nutty.
A little nutty.
It was a little
It's a
nutty.
bit nutty.
It's going with the theme of the month.
It is.
It's a little
I told
nutty.
you. We
That's
warned
right.
you.
That's right.
Folks
Insanity.
at home, we warned you. All right, let's go to the main course.
Main course.
Main course.
Main course.
Main course. I'm singing to distract you from the fact
That I have nothing
can't work
written.
my laptop.
My
Excuse me.
laptop is possessed, and
All right.
I can't remember what I wrote.
All right, everybody, shut up.
All
Here
right,
we go.
ready?
I'm ready. I think
All right,
so.
do it.
All right.
Aren't you gonna have something?
No, I had just such a big hamburger. That was really big. But we've never been at that place. It's really good.
What? Pimps?
Yeah, well, whatever.
Pimps?
Yeah, it's a funny name, but I don't remember.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I will.
Okay.
Fine.
All right.
I'll go.
Fine.
Be that way. Okay. Okay. All right.
And with that, everybody goes, nope, never mind. See you next week, guys, when you're a little more with it. The old dark house at the end of the street that hasn't been lived in for years. The dilapidated warehouse barely standing in that forgotten part of town. The dank, dark basement you never dared venture down as a child. That one restaurant location that's a different Chinese restaurant every other day for some reason. There are places that gain myth and tale of horror, most notably places that once harbored historical nightmares. Lizzie Borden's house, the Hockomock Swamps, and the Bridgewater Triangle. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. The children. Yeah. I felt a little bad, but not bad enough. And from tonight's...
You know it.
I know, yeah. Well, you know, it's never it's creepy.
He's bad.
He's bad.
You know.
What's wrong with sharing the bed?
It's for the
Most
children.
loving thing you can do is share a bed. And 15. Oh, sorry. And from tonight's movie, the Danvers State Mental Hospital in Danvers, Massachusetts. Session 9 takes us, the audience, into one of these places where the imagination is strong and sparks many feelings of dread and danger. But what's real is often more horrifying than what your mind thinks it's seeing. And for the cast of Session 9, the discovery of what's really after them proves more fatal than any ghost story or passed down legend they may have heard. For while monsters, demons, ghosts, and spirits will always fuel our nightmares, the true thing to fear, as in the case of the ending in this film, is what horrors are capable in the mind of a human being.
And asbestos.
And asbestos. Fear that shit, too. Totally.
It's really not good for
Because
you.
they're just bathing in that shit.
Yeah.
Breathe it in.
Gentlemen.
Breathe deep.
I love the
gathering
smell of
gloom.
asbestos in the morning.
Watch lights fade from every room.
What are you going to do? All right, who would like to start us off? Who's got Derek, this was your pick, so I want you to start. I know you started us off before, I think. But
All right.
This is a
What, like general overview?
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
give us what made you pick this one?
I love this movie. Because so the basis of this movie is that these guys are you know, they clean out asbestos, they clean out old buildings, remediation and stuff. And
There's a crew.
yeah. So it's multiple guys. Gordon is the guy that runs the company. He's the older guy. He just had a baby. He's got a newborn at home and a wife, and he's very stressed out, and he's dying for money. He needs this job. He lowballs it and says that he'll do it in a week.
He basically promises the world.
Right.
Like, yeah.
You know, can't be done in the time frame that he
Because don't they
promises,
at first
but-
say that it's a 3-week job?
He says 2 to
but
3.
But they said we
and
can do it
then-
in 2.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, he says, no, we'll do it in 1 week.
He comes back and says 1 just because he needs the job.
He needs it desperately.
And he's got his like kind of, it seems like they're best friends. Phil, which is David Caruso's character.
Yeah, and he agrees with him, like, yeah, oh,
Right.
okay, I guess we'll
He's
do
like,
it in
we'll
1.
make it happen. And he's kind of just his go-to guy. They're joined by Jeff, who is the nephew, who's new. He seems like this is probably the first job that he's done. He's just kind of there to help out and be an extra hand. Mike, who is a former law student, works with him, and he ends up, this guy ends up obsessed with the history of this hospital. And Phil, Hank, who is just another asbestos guy, but he also happens to have basically stolen Phil's girlfriend and is with her, and they obviously have some bad blood, and so they are here to do a remediation job, clean out the asbestos from this hospital, and strange things happen. We see a little bit of a descent into madness.
Yeah, yeah. One of them becomes obsessed with the whole thing with Session 9.
Right.
Is a series of
tapes that he finds
that deals with this one patient.
This girl, Mary Hobbs, was a former inmate. She has multiple personalities that show up on these tapes. And there's one that's named Simon. The doctor, throughout the movie, as he listens to these tapes, he keeps, wanting to talk to Simon to find out what happened, on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, whatever year it was. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And there's Princess, who's like the innocent one, and then you've got Billy, who is kind of more playful but like protective.
Yeah.
And then this Simon you don't meet until Session 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Session 9 and Session. Oh, they said the movie.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of the movie.
All right.
Very nice.
I'll watch anything that's based around where we live, but I found this like ages ago and was just like blown away at how good, like, psychologically it was, and it was probably one of the first like independent films that I had seen. I just remember being really impressed with it, and the acting is great. I think they really do a good job of capturing the whole like Bostonian kind of blue collar worker vibe, and it's effective. It's just it's an effective horror movie that like they didn't have a lot going on for a budget, and didn't really have to do anything special to make it have the effect that it's supposed to have, and it just works.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, there were really no special effects or anything in this movie. Everything was all implied, and everything was all. Was it like
the way it was shot? And
is it in their minds? Is it actually happening to them? Yeah, it was a little off-putting. I always like a creepy setting, and like strange old mental hospitals. Yeah, it does. It's a very creepy setting. It was a pretty cool movie. There was a lot of atmosphere, but not a lot of payoff at the end for me.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with him and his wife going back and forth, I was a little confused.
Yeah.
With the flowers and, going back, it's like, what's going on? Is he staying in the hospital? Is he not staying in the hospital? What's actually in his head and what's not in his head? It was a little confusing. I think maybe in another viewing it might it might click a little more with me.
I definitely noticed things more the second and third time that I saw it.
Yeah. But it wasn't bad.
That got me too, Brian.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's going, and it was closer to the end when I was like, oh, this already happened.
Yeah.
He's not going home after work every
No,
day.
he's not. I think he's staying at the hospital.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's that one where I like the idea of it. It just wasn't hitting me initially. But yeah, I thought it was all right. It has this like found footage kind of look to it, which throws me a little bit. But it's like found footagey / the
low budget,
grainy, like look to the film that kind of takes me out of it because the actors that I think are so good. I'm just like, why are you in a movie that looks like this? It kind of, I don't know, something about it, but it's not a found footage movie. And if it was, then maybe it'd be a little bit cooler. Just the look of it. I like all the actors. I like David Caruso. He's so weird. And he plays basically the same guy in everything he does. And I like that guy.
Yeah.
And I like the guy who plays Gordon, the main character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah, Peter Mullen.
Yeah, he hasn't been in a ton of things that I've seen, but I think he's really, really good. It's weird because there are elements that are kind of scary, but it seems to take place primarily during the day.
Yeah.
Right? But they're able to, I think, throughout the film, even though it's all daytime, there are like dark places, and even the rooms that are lit up with all the stuff all over the walls are kind of scary, which is interesting because usually when you get to that, I'm expecting it to be night all the time. Oh, they gotta hurry up and finish because they're dead. They have this deadline, so they're gonna be
they've
working
got to do all
night.
this work in a week.
They're gonna be working at night constantly. That's when all the weird shit's gonna happen, and some of the weird shit does happen at night, but they're spending a lot of time during the day there, and weird things are happening during the day. It is. I think there's a really good story, but hard to follow for me in certain points.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I knew it was Gordon pretty early on, but then based on like what I was seeing, I was like, wait a minute, he goes home every day. I don't understand. No, he killed his wife. I know he killed his wife. Why do I keep thinking he's going home every day?
And they try to like kind of point you in the direction of Caruso for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, all of a sudden, like they're trying to, like it's just a red herring.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
the
one
red-haired herring.
Yeah.
One thing that kind of drove me nuts about this movie was how much emphasis they put on the jar of Jiffy and the bag of Oreo cookies. It's always like right there. So when you initially see the Jiffy, I was like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. And then you see the Oreos and you're like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. Because they just keep showing them. And I don't know how much they paid, but it was enough to get the Jiffy jar and the Oreos cookies in there. Like
that's where all the budget went.
That's where all the budget came from.
Product placement.
Jiffy and Oreo.
Choosy moms.
I hope it's
choose
the same
Session
company.
9.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I liked it. I didn't love it. I feel like this was a TV show an episode from a TV show that just went on longer than your normal hour-long creepy show for me. Maybe it was because there were a lot of like TV actors in there, David Caruso most notably, but I also recognize some of the supporting cast in like episodes of Law and Order and shows like that. So
Right.
that could have been it. I'm not a fan of what I call it was Earth all along from The Simpsons. Oh my God, I was wrong. It was Earth all
The
along.
Planet of the Apes syndrome.
Yeah, the whole thing where it was. I love that. I will say, and we'll get to it in the characters. I did like the lead,
Peter Mullen.
Gordon a lot. I thought he was great in it, and I'm not a huge David Caruso fan. I didn't really like him in this. He kind of took me out of it. I felt with the whole editing and out of order sequencing thing that we saw a lot of in the 2000s. I didn't need that. I feel like it was trying to be too artsy for something that could have been relatively just more straightforward and simple.
Well, a big part of that is there was a whole subplot that got taken out.
Okay.
So
About the homeless woman living in the...
there was a homeless woman that it was watching all of it and was kind of like spooking them and
I read that, yeah.
Like the whole ending like is her. And so it's like they took all of that out, but they had filmed it. So I think a lot of that like kind of weird the way that it was
So
edited
there should be a
is
Session
because
9
of that.
director's cut out there somewhere.
I know. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's I've never been able to find it.
And that kind of would have been better for me, I think.
Why wouldn't it have affected her?
And like, and the big thing is that like, you spend the time watching the movie with her in it, and you're thinking, oh, it must be the girl that was the inmate that they talk about.
Oh, okay.
Like it's kind of like leads you to believe that that's who it is.
Oh, I like that.
But,
Yeah. So it was okay. I mean, it was entertaining enough. I was invested through the whole thing, but there was a lot of this twist and turn stuff that was kind of confusing at times, and then at other times I was just like, oh, I don't want it to be just one of the guys.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Asylum take a more creepier,
Right.
Maybe not so direct or supernatural approach, but maybe something that kind of played with your mind a little
Simon.
more. Yeah, it's still a guy though. you
Yeah.
know. I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Sorry. I remember my buddy Steve is from Danvers, so I remember we rented this when it first came out, and because we wanted to see the mental hospital and the location because he had been there. He wasn't in there. He wasn't admitted there, but he knew of it.
That building was actually
Right. And I just could not remember anything about it. And upon rewatching it, I remember why. It's good, but nothing really stuck out really that great to me. So
I remember as a kid going to to Framingham State, not the college, the Framingham State Hospital, which was similar. It was a similar like old former asylum type place, and it was same thing. Like kids would try to break in and check the place out.
Sure.
Drink and do whatever.
And it's
Never
actually
got
where they
into shit
filmed,
like that.
and they
No,
ended
you
up
never did that?
filming New Mutants there.
Oh, is that where they did it?
is that where it- okay.
Yep.
Ah,
Not Framingham. Was it Medfield?
Bedford?
No, Medfield. I think it's Medfield State Hospital.
Okay.
Like very creepy ambiance. I love places like
My
that.
my buddy Scott and I, we would go and like paint in the walls, and he'd take pictures of all the old abandoned places and hang them.
Yeah.
Hingham Park, though, all the old dilapidated buildings. So, and I will agree, the ambiance is extremely creepy
Medfield.
in that film. There is, I guess, I kind of wanted the asylum to be more of the character.
I
in it,
agree.
you
Like
know?
I think
So-
I think it was.
I think
Well,
there's
I
some
guess to you it was. I mean, there's no wrong answer, right? It's
with
what you take
the
out
with
of
the
it.
opening with them in the asylum getting the walkthrough, and then you have like that emphasis on the seat and that dark like path getting to the chair. I don't know why I assumed there was going to be a lot more with that with that room and with that chair, and he would end up in it at some point. As the hospital is talking to him.
Yeah, we're hearing creepy
my
noises.
refrigerator's making weird noises.
They're not happy. The refrigerator liked the movie a lot, and it's sounding off. All right,
Shall we go through the categories?
categories.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Favorite scenes, gentlemen.
I got to go with the cemetery scene between Gordon and Jeff. Gordon and his nephew Jeff. Because it's really it's two conversations. One, like on first viewing, he's a guy who's just stressed and tired, and he's losing his family. But after knowing the ending, like Jeff is talking to a guy who is completely breaking apart and has already killed his wife, but is delusional about it. It's
So she's
such,
not answering
and
the
it's
phone.
such like Peter Mullen's performance in it is awesome. Like it, and even a decent and more serious performance from Brennan Sexton the Third.
Oh, that's his name. I
He's
forgot his
always
name.
kind
He's
of like
always
this
warring.
goofy, kind of like burnout kind of kid, but like he's really good in this scene in particular, and especially the moment where where he asks, like, is Aunt Wendy doing okay? And Gordon hesitates and but then he answers about her being really tired. It's such a brilliant scene, and the acting is great.
Cool.
Yeah, there are definitely
Oh,
those
that's a
things
good
where
scene.
you go back and you're like, that whole time, oh, she's already dead.
Right.
So it's just kind of making, or I don't know, he thinks she is still alive and tired or whatever. Sorry.
And well, that's the thing. He's telling, and in his
knows?
mind, he's created this his mind's fractured, and he's
Right.
created this alternate
Scenario.
reality where he's calling her, and she's not answering because she doesn't want to talk to him because she's angry that he hit her. But she's really not, she's not answering because she
she's
killed her,
dead.
Gordon. Killed her.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene was the one, and I forget the character's name that did it, but the one that found the coins in the wall. And he started digging in the wall.
Josh Lucas.
Phil. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was it Phil?
Oh, no, Phil's
Hank.
Hank.
Because Phil's the Caruso character.
Okay.
Phil?
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 That first step's a doozy. I like the scene where he was getting greedy, and I thought he was, really like once he started digging in the walls and the coins are coming out, and it looked like there was an oven on the other side,
Right.
and he's finding like teeth and stuff that was in there. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
'cause it's the other side
here
of the
we go.
crematorium.
Exactly. Here we go. We're going to get more into the history of this creepy old hospital. And again, I mean, I like the scene because it's like it's building, but it didn't seem to go anywhere after that, and that really left a bad taste in my mouth. I was really disappointed that it didn't take that more supernatural bent to it.
Yeah.
But that was probably my favorite scene. I just like when he's getting greedy and he's like, yeah, okay, I'm over here. Don't come over here. And he's going at night to do it too. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't go in there at night either.
For gold coins.
Yeah, yep.
Not even gold, just old coins.
Yeah, just old coins.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's like 50-cent pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Bunch of 50-cent pieces. I wrote his name as Warren. But Brendan Sexton III's character, my favorite scene is the scene where he's running through the tunnel and he's trying to beat the lights.
Oh God, yeah, that was
really,
creepy.
That is
terrifying.
a good one.
Really fucking fun.
That's a good one too.
Cool scene. I love that idea of him trying to beat the lights. because he's so afraid of the dark. You
Right.
don't really
and
get that
the
feel.
generator runs out of juice.
Yeah,
And
he's kind
the
of
lights are going
afraid.
out
He
one by
tells you
one.
He is. He runs up and down the stairs really quickly in certain scenes.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of like things that you feel like are set up for something that just nothing happens. But that scene especially, and then he gets hit with all the asbestos in the face, and it's like, oh, he's dead. He's dead anyways. So
Yeah.
fuck him.
If not then, but soon.
Yeah, right. Maybe 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's dead. But I just thought that was a really genius scene.
When he inhales that stuff.
Well,
you
and I
can
think
feel
that
it.
like
You can
that's one of the
totally feel
things
that
where
stuff.
they delivered. I think that like they built all that stuff throughout the movie about him being afraid of the dark, and that scene
they
really
did.
is
Yeah.
the culmination of all that build up. And
Yeah.
so I think they delivered some things.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to say confused, but
I think I expected more of an impact.
I'm thinking something else is supposed to happen because when you see Josh Lucas again, I'm thinking it's the ghost of Josh Lucas and he's now in haunting alongside whatever else is haunting. Not that he's been like lobotomized.
Right.
Because
but
he's
he's been
acting
absorbed
so
into
weird.
the hotel too.
Right,
the hospital
right,
too.
the hospital, right. So when I'm seeing that stuff and the lights going off, it almost feels like it's trying to get him.
Yeah.
The lights going off are like trying to get him.
Yeah.
But he survived. I mean, survived quotation marks because he eats a bunch of asbestos.
Yeah.
But like he gets outside and he's okay for the most part. And then he meets his fate. But
He's eating the Oreos, and Grandpa from the Lost Boys said, "I told you to stay off the second shelf. Stay off. Stay away from the second shelf."
But
my root beer and
I love that shot. I thought it was really great.
That is cool.
That's a really fun scene.
I'm with Brian. I love the coin scene because I have had dreams of walking and finding like $1 and finding a line of dollars down the road.
Right.
I'm like, I'm rich, yay! And I wake up and I'm poor. So I would go back for those coins. I like the first time he goes after the coins,
Yeah.
like you said. And I also like when he goes back
Back at night.
At night.
It's
That's
a
a scary
creepy.
scene.
It is a very scary scene, and I did like that scene a lot. And I like how he's going through the wall, and you expect something to grab
It's like
him.
pull him
Exactly.
through or,
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that it doesn't. It goes against that cliche, so I will give it that. You do see the other side, which is nice.
That's like anytime I see a movie where like someone opens a door and the camera is like on the person, and you always expect like when they close the door or close the cabinet or whatever,
Someone's
there's going to
gonna
be
be there.
something there. Or
Yep.
if they show a mirror, something's going to be in the background. I always like am on the lookout for that, and it never happens anymore. Like, so I think people kind of
Yeah.
stopped doing those little jump
only been
scares.
done as a joke where you think it's been
Right.
so
Or they, like,
cliched.
overdo it.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
which I kind of like that. too.
What's the next
That was
category?
we started with Derek. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's right. Least favorite hated scenes.
When Jeff tells the crew that he saw Hank and Phil just starts going off on him, like he goes off the wall and he's like calling him a fucking idiot. And it's like, I think the thing that bothered me, I mean, it's horrible acting by Caruso, but it's not really in character. I didn't mind him in that movie until that scene because it was like all of a sudden he's this different character. He's not the same Phil that has been in the movie. He's flipping out on him, and again, I think it's because like they're trying to lead you astray and make you think that he's somehow behind something, and it just doesn't make sense. Like if they had kind of made him a prick or given him some type of like conflict with this kid in the beginning of the movie, then I could kind of buy him acting that way towards him over an accusation like that.
Yeah,
But
it's like some ancient history stuff that you don't really get the full.
right.
But are we?
Yeah, I mean,
we
'cause-
led
well,
to
'cause-
believe that
'cause Phil and
knows,
Hank- yeah, Phil and Hank
he
know each
knows the
other.
whole time,
Right.
right? Like he's trying to help. Is Gordon's the guy who kills his wife, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As the movie went on, I start to think that Phil knows exactly what's going on, but he's just trying to cover for his friend. Maybe not that he killed his wife, but maybe that he did something to.
Yeah.
this
I
other
don't
guy.
know because later on that whole thing with because this happens. Is this before? No, this is right after he has the whole thing with the other guy. Was it Mike?
Yeah.
And he's like telling him, look, we got to do something about this, and Gordon's overhearing it.
Yeah.
And it's like I think really that scene is when it starts, when he starts like shifting the character, and it's like he's worried about the job, and he doesn't think that Gordon is all there. He needs to rest. I don't know if he knows what's going on, like knows that he's behind. Although he had found. Did he find? No, he didn't. No, he hadn't found Hank yet
No,
because he finds him after.
he finds him later. Who's next? You went
So
first.
it's now.
Yeah.
your least
All right.
favorite.
So I agree with Derek. Just the whole back and forth with those two. It was just, and I think it went on a little too long.
Yeah.
If I remember right, because I'd only seen this movie once
Right.
last week when you showed it to us. I do want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I think I need another viewing to absorb it all.
It's worth it because it's a different movie when you watch it the second time, knowing.
But yeah, I think you're right. Because other than that, like I like the interplay with everybody else. I like the way that everybody was kind of like on edge as the movie went on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My least favorite is another Warren scene.
Not your favorite character, Tito.
Brendan Sexton III. It's him running straight at the camera to give it a hug. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
When
It
did he
just-
do that? Who was he?
Right before he gets killed.
Yeah, right when he
After-
makes it
Gave
out
the
alive.
camera a hug?
After my favorite scene.
Remember,
he
he's
runs
eating the Oreos
outside,
and he
he's
goes,
eating
"Oh,
the
I hope you
Oreos."
don't mind. I found them inside." And then he
runs to
goes
the
and opens his
camera
arms
and
for a
opens
hug.
his arms. Yeah,
Jesus,
and
I
gets
don't remember
murdered.
that at all.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I remember the
didn't
scene
like
with
it.
at the truck with the Oreos, and
It's weird because it's the first person shot
Yeah.
that you see the entire film. So it's at that point I'm like, oh, it's Gordon, but it's just so odd to me because he's running towards the camera and then he has this moment of like, oh, what do I do here? Hug? and then he's like, oh, he gets killed. Something about it that just really. It's weird because it just didn't make sense to me because nothing's first person at any point throughout the entire film.
that's
that
true.
that I can recall.
Yeah. No, but then after that scene, they show like
After
it's
that,
all from his point of view.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. He's like,
Which, like I said,
hug
it
the
was
camera.
the deleted scenes. I think it was a lot of that was her point of view. Like when they're in the I don't know, it's like a gymnasium kind of that
Yeah.
big atrium
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah.
She's watching from above like that. They kept part of it. The shot where Mike is making his way from upstairs and he's walking across that room, and you see it from above.
That was her
that's
point of
her
view.
point
Oh,
of view.
there's
That's
a
her
couple of
watching.
shots like that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Oh, I would have liked that. I think that character.
I think I would
whatever her
too.
connection.
I don't know,
is
but
to
I would have been kind of like, it would have been fine to have the extra character.
Right, but didn't they say that it confused the audience because
Right.
people thought that it was this Mary
That it was
Hobbs,
Mary Hobbs, yeah.
that had
Oh,
stayed
you
in
said
the
that,
hospital
yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
years later.
Which is like
Well,
one of
that
those-
kind of would have been cool too.
Yeah,
Why
but
not
that's
just
one of
live
those.
off the
But that's one of
coin
those
collection?
things that like because we're horror movie guys.
It's
like,
a cop out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? Yeah, okay. Like,
Oh, that
of
old
all-
chestnut.
Yeah, exactly. Of all the inmates and all the gin joints.
Well, there aren't that
Of
many
all
of
the
them in
creepy old
Danvers.
hospitals in all the world,
Danvers is a crazy
she had
place,
to stay in
but-
mine.
I feel like it's plausible. When you only have one asylum, odds are there's going to be one that sticks around.
There's one in Medfield. And there's one in...
It's like a curse weighing on an entire landscape. And whoever goes too deep into this has his share of that curse. So we are cursed with what we are doing here.
There's a bunch of them.
There's one in Taunton. No.
Yeah.
She never found the coin collection. That idiot.
Do you guys
I
remember?
know, right? She wouldn't have been homeless if she had just fucking looked around.
So in Attleboro, you guys know La Salette.
Yeah.
You were there
Yes.
at Christmas time with your
Yes.
kids. Do you guys remember when they had the big sanatorium there that burned down, like in the late 80s, early 90s?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
We used to go to look at the lights when we were kids, but I was fascinated with the big old fucking creepy building that was in the background of this place that is not there anymore because it had burned down.
Oh, is that where the elderly housing is now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was a big, like,
interesting.
Danvers-looking hospital
Wow.
back then. Back when I was a
I
kid.
wonder if that place is haunted.
Might be.
The haunted nursing home?
Ooh.
Or residential living, whatever.
Bubba Hotel.
What's that funny smell? Oh, it's urine.
It's Ben Gay in desperation and regret.
And a lot of regret.
How about you? What's your,
Mine is the ending. I'm again, it's just something I'm not into in general. Usually, there's a couple of movies where it works, but a lot of the time, I'm like that kind of feels like a cop out to me as well. So that's just
But having
that's just
Gordon
me.
be the
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, okay. It was Earth all along. So that's just me.
Who would you want to be the killer?
I don't know. I love this. I honestly, the other cop out thing you guys were talking about.
Yeah, with somebody else in the hotel.
Well,
I keep saying hotel, the hospital.
It's a hotel. It's like a hotel. If you've ever stayed at a
we're
Yankee
an
Clipper
asylum.
in New Hampshire,
I'm
it's like
saying
an
hotel
asylum.
because we're coming off of The Shining from last week.
see?
I've got
Yeah.
that fresh in my mind.
Well,
too.
There's similarities. But that scene, is it the coin collecting scene when you see the figure in the
shadow of down the alley?
I really like that. Was that meant to be the homeless woman?
I think so.
See, I think I kind of would have dug that more.
Yeah.
The more I think about it. So, I don't know.
It's Gordon.
It's just Gordo.
Eating jars of
Gordo.
He just finished the jar of peanut butter and he's fucking waiting for Josh Lucas.
So peanut butter makes you crazy is the moral of
just Jeff.
He liked the chunky.
Skippy's okay.
Okay.
He liked the chunky. They gave him smooth. They drove him over the edge.
Oh, that used to drive me crazy too, man. I totally stand by Gordon.
The
if that was the
shit's
case.
in my sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want no chunky. I like it smooth.
All right. What would I change? Who would I change?
I would have shown a little bit more of Phil being affected somehow by the asylum, because each of them kind of have their own thing going on. Like Jeff's afraid of the dark, so like he doesn't like the place because of that. Hank, is finding this stuff, and then obviously he has his terrifying moments. Mike becomes becomes so obsessed with listening to the tapes that he's walking out the job and pretending that he's doing other stuff just so that he can keep listening to this thing.
Yeah.
And obviously Gordon, losing his fucking mind. But Phil, they really nothing really happens with him.
It seems like they're setting it up for him to be the crazy one.
Yeah.
Well,
he spends so much time he has to go back for
he's
his
got
bag.
he's got the thing where he's pissed at Hank. He doesn't like Hank. So and then of course Hank's the first one to disappear and for something to happen to. So I guess it did start sooner, dropping the breadcrumbs in the wrong direction. But I would have liked to have seen it affecting him, like him have some type of obsession there, or
I get what you mean.
But that's what I would.
A little more emphasis.
Emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah.
And the syllable.
Well, if that isn't the epitome of
Brian, what
agreed, Derek. I like everybody else but him, and for the same reasons. Because, like you said, and I don't know their names, but the one that was obsessed with the tapes, the other one that was obsessed with the coins. Yeah, he was the weak link.
He just kind of he was just kind of normal at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I guess
he's
the voice of
let's
reason.
get this fucking job done. He's the let's get this job done guy.
Yeah.
Well, and then the whole thing with
He's one of them.
He's the Mr. Pink of the group.
Let's
He's
get
the
his
only-
then he
$10,000
sees
bonus.
him when Gordon sees him out the window and he's talking to the two
the
thugs,
two thugs there,
and it looks more like a drug deal,
right,
or something. He's which I think maybe that's because later on he ends up smoking.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm wondering if maybe he just that's just the kids who
They just
sold him the
stop
weed.
by to, yeah, get us fixed.
But he
Oh, sorry.
but it's a big cover up too.
Yeah.
Because afterwards when he's confronted about it, he makes this oh yeah, those vandals are going to be seen around here. I caught them spray painting and
there's a lot of shit
Oh, I
kind of
assumed that they were like.
yeah, I
he
know
was-
there is.
They were going to be the two guys he was going to use to replace the other guys so they could finish the job. Grab a couple of other dudes
never even
to
thought
help
of that.
finish the
Honestly,
job.
that's a
He's
good
trying
point.
to get that $10,000 bonus.
That's right.
yeah.
I empathize. with
There was
whoever
a
said
very big carrot dangling at the end of this
right?
job.
You get that job done in a week, you get that money.
All of the Jif peanut butter you could eat. A lifetime supply.
Dip the Oreos in
The
that shit.
The jelly of the
That's a
monk
meal.
club of
The
Jif.
jelly.
Clark,
gift
it's the
that
gift that
keeps on
keeps on giving.
It is good peanut butter. I will say that. I'm more of a Skippy guy, but Jif is fine.
No love for Peter Pan?
No.
All peanut butter.
At all.
They don't even make that anymore, do they?
I don't know. I remember that one as a kid.
I'm not eating Peter Pan's peanut butter.
Wow, Peter Pan was really busy. He's got buses and peanut butter.
I know.
True.
I know.
Merchandise galore. What do we call that?
He's
You
got
guys-
shoes too.
Is
He's got
Tinker-
merch.
Is
He's got
Tinkerbell
that's
his
not
agent? Like, is she just
oversaturating the
out
market,
there fucking
you know?
boring him out? Like,
an entrepreneur? No.
What do you call that?
I don't know.
Peter Pan is Peter Pan.
Oh, the
Anybody can use it.
Yeah, public domain.
Public domain.
Yes,
Yeah,
public
fucking
domain.
forget.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just yeah.
Yeah.
We should make
Of all the
Peter Pan
Public domain characters.
podcast.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say
Flavored podcast.
Exactly.
we could do a Peter Pan podcast.
It is. We
Pan
don't.
flavored.
We don't act like grown-ups.
No,
So,
we don't want to grow up.
Peter Pantsless.
I wouldn't have any of that peanut butter either.
The porn version.
We'll do it. Like Winnie the Pooh.
Tito, what about you? What would you change?
Honestly, it's the graininess of the film.
Yeah.
I would like
Just the way it
something a
was
little
filmed.
bit crisper because it has that, like I said earlier, found footagey, but also kind of this like made for TV movie kind of feel to it.
I think
would like something a
the
little
outdoor
crisper.
scenes, like when they're in the direct sunlight and they're like having their breaks
Having
and stuff, and they're
lunches.
Yeah.
exactly, and they're just bullshitting about their day and stuff. Those scenes are like fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
there's
Yeah,
certain points.
once they're in the hospital, it's totally different.
And the only other thing I would change is the Craig character. I would make that character actually Craig Robinson, and then have him die immediately. Just toss him a couple of dollars. I was hoping that Craig guy, because they talk about Craig a lot during the movie.
Yeah.
They do.
I wasn't hoping it was going to be Craig Robinson.
You were hoping.
I was
Craig
hoping it was going to
gonna
be
the
somebody
killer.
that I knew, and then the guy Craig shows up, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Kill him!
It's Craig.
Get rid of him! Kill him off already!"
Oh, and I remember who Craig was. I've seen Craig in a lot of horror films.
Larry Fessenden.
Yeah, so he's in The Dead Don't Die. He's in Late Phases, The Lone Wolf Story, and he's been in a ton of horror documentaries too. And I remember him because of his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got a distinct forehead.
a-
He looks
Forehead
like.
on
You
it.
ever see those?
Oh, the
That
Dead Don't Die.
it was a meme that went online for a while back. It was like these two mug shots, and they looked like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what he looked like. He looked like one of those meth guys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's hilarious because there's a photo, and
He's got a 5 head.
we're gonna get back to that forehead soon.
Yep, that's him.
Oh Jesus.
That's him.
Yep.
Could watch a
Yep.
movie on
Holy
that.
crap.
He's beautiful.
it looks like
Beautiful
somebody
human
What did you
stretched
call
out
it?
Jack
You were like, oh,
Nicholson.
it's the thicker.
Yeah.
No, Hector Hammond.
Hector Hammond.
Yeah.
The original Hector Hammond.
Do you dream in IMAX?
Peyton's looking at that forehead like, that's just too damn big.
What would you change, Mark? The ending.
No. Well, yeah, no, but I figured I didn't want to harp on it. I would have a stronger cast, or
Wow.
that's what I thought, but I think I mean stronger characters. I'm noticing as we're talking about this now, we can't remember who's who. We can't remember which one played Hank, which one played Bill, which one played Larry, whatever their names are. I know you do because you've seen this a lot more. But I feel like it needs maybe stronger characterization more than a strong. I don't. Again, some of the cast members were fine, so keep them. But maybe a little more character development to match
which is weird
with the name.
because
I remember
there weren't.
David
It wasn't that
Caruso.
big of a cast. There
No.
weren't that many to keep track
That's
of, but
right.
yet we're still struggling.
But I remember David Caruso because
Right,
it's
it's
David,
David
Caruso.
Caruso.
But everybody else was kind of interchangeable or whatever. And I'm just like, wait, which one was him? Who? Oh, him. Okay.
yeah,
So
that's why I'm like the guy with the coins, the guy with the,
the guy with the
Oreos,
coins,
the guy.
yeah. But I did remember that was Josh Lucas because I remember him from stuff at one point.
So
with
are you
those
think like
characters.
a more recognizable cast?
Maybe, or I'll you
See,
know.
I don't know.
both.
I like the cast. I like that they're.
Well, you can.
I mean-
that, again, this is just me. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, that's what I would change, but I don't think everybody would want that.
Yeah.
Some might really like the guy with the big forehead. Craig.
I'm sure his mama does.
That
Craig.
was
His
Craig.
mom, yeah.
Not at birth.
I'm gonna call him Craig.
Joe Craig
I like the
Robinson.
cast.
Rocky, it's like a pelvis.
That's mine.
I'm beautiful on the inside.
And I
Yeah,
guess
but there's a limit.
I guess now knowing what I would know, I would put the old homeless lady back in.
Yeah.
I really like that. That would be
that
that would be
too.
a true change right there.
Things that might not work today. Derek.
I put the idea that a week would go by after his wife and child's murder and no one questions their whereabouts or has discovered the bodies.
That's true.
That's a
Like,
good one.
Yeah.
Like, does she work or friends, family? Like, no one's.
Yeah.
Mom.
How
Like-
old was the kid? Did the kid go to school?
Well, no, I mean, like, it was a newborn, but like.
Oh, it was a newborn.
Right. But like,
No one's
I
going to
mean,
visit.
you would think that people would be coming. Oh, I gotta see I want to go see the baby.
Yeah.
Or calling her to say how things are. You know, all our friends and stuff. So
Yeah, that's possible.
I just don't think. Yeah, that wouldn't fly.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, that is a good one. I didn't even think of that one, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would probably, because I can't really think of anything else.
No.
We still got asbestos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's still
Ow.
totally
Right.
We still got asbestos. We still got
There's
crazy
still plenty
people.
of buildings that,
But yeah,
We still got David Caruso.
we still got David Caruso. So
We still
yeah,
got
I
peanut
think the
butter,
fact
yeah.
that you're right, Derek, that nobody made mention about the wife's disappearance after a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this
Yeah,
day and age,
that was a
everybody's so-
nice neighborhood with
Yeah.
a lot of close houses.
Right.
Exactly.
People would notice the smell,
Exactly.
if nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well, if you, this, you know,
What are you looking at me for?
if you've killed enough people, you realize there's a foul odor that emits.
I thought everything held up.
Oh yeah,
I
there
thought
was
it
a
all
time.
kind of worked
Yeah.
for today. Like you could make that movie tomorrow, and I think if anything, that's a little bit of a pick because we have to do it. But when I was watching the movie, I was like, yeah, this would hold up today. You could make this movie today. You know, clean it up a bit, but yeah, it works.
Yeah.
The whole movie worked for me.
I went with the traditional not enough women because there's only one woman in this whole movie. That was the only thing I could think of.
There's the
although-
mystery woman.
That's it. Well, there is the mystery one, but you don't see her. You only hear
She
her.
got cut
And
out
I
of the
think
movie.
by
Well, and the Mary Hobbs character,
today's
like you on the tapes and
standard,
stuff.
Yeah, it's still. I think somebody on the crew would.
Plus,
Magic
would be a
voice.
female.
the one that Hank's screwing, although you don't hear
No.
her, you
No.
don't see her or anything.
Yeah.
No, that's
I don't think that would ever work. I don't think
That's a
working
fake
with somebody who
conversation.
you know is
Yeah,
banging,
that's true.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
that doesn't work. Now that I think, and peanut butter, the obsession with peanut butter, with the rising nut allergy between 2000 and 2023, peanut butter would not be as popular as it is now.
Yeah.
It would
point.
not drive people to kill.
Sorry, guys. This work site's a nut-free zone.
Yeah.
Warren-
Oreos, yes.
Warren's allergic.
I would kill for
Those are going
Oreos, but
strong.
not for peanut.
Only
Does
double stuff,
Does
not
that just
nut.
refer to peanuts, or does that refer to the insane nuts?
Oh, that's deep.
It's a nut-free zone,
There
Derek.
you
They're
go.
all in trouble.
Oh,
That's deep.
that is
award for what are you doing in this movie?
Larry Fessenden's forehead.
Oh wow! I was going to say David Caruso, but
He's
he just seems out of place.
see, but I don't know. He's playing himself.
Yeah, I could see him
I
showing.
mean,
up
and
in
this is pre CSI. Like this was before he like
Yeah, but
started
it's
on those
after
shows.
NYPD Blue too.
Yeah, well,
Which
he
is-
blew
Oh,
that
that's
off.
right. He was on that.
You
too,
know,
yeah.
which would really
This
put him
is
on the
a waste
map,
of
and
my
then he was in this.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know, he did a good job throughout the movie, not having to look at the floor like he does on the shows for his lines.
That's true.
Until the rooftop scene.
Yeah.
Because then he looks at the ground, and I'm like, oh, he's fucking reading the script. Probably.
Did he put the glasses on?
No, well, he didn't have
He
sunglasses.
didn't have
Yeah.
sunglasses.
No,
Looks like this baby.
that's probably why.
It's a baby.
I went Brendan Sex in the Third because that one kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
Seeing Warren in a movie, but I like the Caruso is totally. I think Caruso is a bit out of place, but I like Caruso. So
You
I'm
just
going-
like Hudson Hawk.
I'm going Warren from Empire Records.
Same. That was my pick
Yeah.
too. What's Warren doing in this movie?
Warren, what are you doing?
Didn't they give him that job at Empire Records?
He did-
Had to
yeah,
go
right.
work for
It
his
didn't last
shitty
very
uncle.
long.
Yep.
Well, you know
As
he
if
wouldn't.
Rex Manning Day didn't drive him insane enough.
Say no more.
Do you have a favorite quote? Best quote?
Oh, yes.
I
Let's
do.
hear 'em.
Where do you live, Simon? I live in the weak and the wounded, Doc. And Billy, where's the princess live? In the tongue. Why the tongue? Because she's always talking, sir. I love those two lines. Like those are the best.
That is a good one.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I really dig the Simon thing.
Hello, my name is Simon. I like to do drawings. I'm having my bath now. But don't look at my bum. Bum looker, cheeky monkey.
And like the whole idea, like, where does he live? When he says that he lives in the weak and the wounded.
Yeah.
It's like it's not. He's like a traveling ghost kind
Yeah.
of thing.
He's an
It-
entity.
he's not just a personality of hers. Like he's stuck around the hospital, and then when Gordon got there, all weak and wounded, like he latched onto him,
Yeah.
and he because you hear him throughout. Go, do it, Gordon. Do
Yeah.
it, like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's it's the same ghost, it's the same voice, really. So I kind of dug that.
Yeah, I guess
That is good.
I would have liked if Mike and Gordon were the same character, because like Mike's fascination with the sessions, listening to them,
Right.
it just seems out of place to me for some reason. He's just
Well,
like,
because he never does anything.
he
I don't
tells
remember.
he tells them
Yeah,
all the story of
He's telling him about it, but he
About
doesn't
it,
really
and
go
then
into
all
the
of a sudden he's
details.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like I would be
obsessed with these
telling him
tapes.
about the sessions. Like,
Just
you
fucking
should
steal
listen to
the
these
tapes.
tapes.
Yeah, I know.
Just
I
take
know. He
him
kept it all to
home.
himself.
I know, right?
cares?
Just yeah.
What are you doing with that box? I'm taking it home. Oh, cool. I don't care.
Why are you staying there?
Yeah, like
Whatever. You can have them all.
Going back at night. You kind of had
Yeah.
it coming, people.
Just take them home.
There's peanut butter at the supermarket, damn it. Just pick some up at Cumberland Farms.
Fams.
Anybody else have a best? I didn't have one.
I didn't either.
Really? Oh, I got a
don't have a
great
favorite.
one.
What?
My
What's
favorite
your
quote is
favorite
my
quote?
least favorite character. Ironically, it's when the camera zooms into David Caruso and he goes, "Fuck you." Just like that. Which, as much as I thought that movie had some bad acting, that solidified it for me. Because he was one step away from putting the shades on.
Yeah.
But it was the music. It was like this over-dramatic music. It was a zoom in with the camera, like zooming in on Dr. Evil. And then it was, "Fuck you." And then David Caruso drag out the last vowel. And I fucking thought it was hilarious. That's mine.
Excellent.
nice
Thank you.
All right. How does it stack up? What are we putting this up against?
against other like Asylum movies or
Asylum film? Caruso movies? Ensembles? I don't know.
I want to know your Caruso ones.
Yeah,
You-
oh, it's fucking King of New York.
It's no Jade.
I mean, I think I know you guys aren't really in agreement, but I love this movie. So I think it's as far as like a Asylum movie where someone mentally breaks down. I enjoy this movie, so it's up there for me.
Nice. I'm not going to put it way up there. I think it needs another viewing or two for me. So I'm going to put it like mid-low for Haunted Asylum movies.
Okay.
That's tough for me. I don't watch movies like this ever. When it comes to, I don't know, I like the cast. So if I'm thinking like, I wouldn't even go that high for an ensemble.
Well, there's some really good ensemble movies.
Yeah.
That's why.
I like Caruso. It's probably like his fifth best movie. It might be like his fifth best movie. It's Warren's like third best movie.
Yeah.
Because we got Welcome to the Dallas and we got Empire.
What about Josh
Records,
Lucas? Josh Lucas movies. I don't know what else he's been in.
It was better than the Hulk.
Glory
I'll put
Road.
this
Oh, that's right,
movie
he
up,
was-
I hate the Hulk.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
Glory
hate
Road.
it. Glory Road.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I imagine there's better Asylum films. I don't even know.
I don't know where I'd put it on the scale here. Probably mid because Derek, we stayed awake during this one, and no one stayed awake at my last pick, so it can't be at the very bottom. You kept everybody awake, so I'll grant you mid of Asylum movies. If middle of the cheese, my man, going back. You, Brian, I like Brian. I'd give it another viewing if I wouldn't be opposed to watching it again. Yeah.
Cool.
MVP?
Peter Mullen.
Peter Mullen,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Caruso.
Yeah, the whole.
You pick Caruso? No. Oh, okay.
I thought you would, Warren.
I actually, the story is my MVP because I
Oh,
actually think
alright.
this is a really good story.
The Asylum.
Yeah.
If you could,
I would pick the Asylum.
if it could be, I don't know, put together in a different way for me, then I really like the idea of it. It just isn't executed the way I would like to see it executed.
Okay.
I like the cast. I maybe switch some things around story wise to make it a little clearer. And yeah, just like the look of the film as a whole. I don't like the look of it visually. I don't like the look of it. But I think the story's cool. I think
Well,
it's a cool
it doesn't
idea.
like you, Tito. It told me
And that's
after
why
you left.
And that's
It
why I
was
don't
like,
fuck around at asylums and shit like that.
You
man.
shouldn't. You shouldn't. Stay out of the water. And
I just
stay
said
out
no.
of the asylums. Just say no.
I just said no.
Ronald, like Nancy Reagan told you to do. Mammy,
Mammy.
Mammy.
Mommy.
Mammy. No, Mammy is Al
Mommy.
Jolson.
That's right.
Mommy is Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Whatever, Russ. Whatever.
Does it make the rotation?
Probably not. Oh, sorry, Derek, you start. Yeah.
Well, no, mine's obvious. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's already in my rotation.
Watch.
I'll give it another go. I mean, last week was the first time I had seen it, so it's not in my rotation yet. So we'll see. After another
I think
go,
it's definitely a movie you should at least see twice because seeing it,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different movie when you see it knowing the end.
If I was seeing it with someone who hadn't seen it, or with someone who had that just wanted to see it again and I didn't care, like what we were watching, then I would see it again. But I probably on my own wouldn't rewatch.
Yeah, that would be the same for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you guys.
Sorry.
Caruso.
The baby.
If you made a sequel, how would it go?
Gary.
Mine would be the continuing adventures of Simon, the entity that infects the weak and wounded.
Adventures.
Maybe a group of teens break into the asylum to stay there, and stories had passed down about a remediation team being murdered.
You know what? This movie could have used boobs.
boobs. Yeah.
And mine would have it. Yeah, the sequel would have boobs.
Yeah. It had forehead, but no boobs.
Brian?
Yeah. I really didn't think about that, but I like where you're going. I like the hospital itself as an evil entity kind of thing, and infecting whoever goes in there. So yeah, I think like you said, like a bunch of teens or I don't know if another crew would work, to go in and do like further work as far as renovating it goes.
I mean, they never finished the work, so
or
I mean,
maybe
it
they
still
do.
needs to be done.
Maybe another team goes in there to renovate it, and they stir up even more shit.
Yeah.
They're disturbing even more of the hospital, and that stirs up
Someone
more.
finds a Jif can full of
full of souls.
Human feces.
Right. What about you, Cheeto?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe this happens like 10 years down the line. Somebody buys the building because nobody can do anything with it. Some asshole. And then sends a crew in there to demolish it. And then let's say the 5 people go in there to survey the building and see what they're going to do with the building. And one of them goes crazy. Okay. It seems like the most straightforward thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
maybe
works.
like a boob or two.
Yeah. A boob or two. So
Yeah.
you'd be fine with like one
like a side boob.
Yeah, just like fucking Clash of the Titans, man. That was just the
Caruso's
one.
boob?
Yeah.
She just showed the one, and that was plenty.
That was enough for you.
Yeah.
That was
All
enough.
right.
That's all it took.
Cool.
That's 1 star in Tito's book.
Mark.
That's it.
Well, boys, as you know, I'm a fan of anthologies, and I would have a few of the other session tapes turned into. There are 8 other sessions. right.
But they're all her sessions.
Yeah. Well, there's also sessions with it's a big
Other
asylum.
people's
There's
sessions.
other
Other
patients,
people's sessions.
right?
Not just Mary Hobbs, but Larry Bobs.
So this would be
There would be
this would be patient 2 session 9.
exactly.
Well, she was 444, right?
Yeah, 444.
So 445.
Yeah.
2436.
666.
Oh,
Patient 666 session 9.
Patient
That's right.
24601.
Jump ahead from 555. Take our time on this one, guys.
That's right. We got to make it a trilogy,
That's
Tito.
it. We gotta take
You're
our
right.
time with
Okay.
this one.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
get a series going.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I would
You're right.
have a few of the other session tapes or other patients turned into short movies for us to see with other patients, all in a wraparound story found by, a couple of detectives that listen intensely to these tapes, meanwhile not aware of the horror that's affecting them with each story, which has them starting to question their own sanity. I'd give it a fun title like Obsession 9, Session 9-2, Session Harder, or if one of the stories features a crazy person who thinks aliens are coming after him, Session 9 from Outer Space.
I was waiting for you to bring that in. Nice. I almost said that at the beginning.
And I did.
I do
Not
nice.
disappoint.
Very nice, Mark.
Thank you.
I would
Thank
watch
you.
that movie.
This movie needs more transvestites.
Post-credit scene.
Bill finding the unfinished job and the blood in the gymnasium area, and then returning with cops to find the bodies, and Gordon and the A-wing. Just for that final. At the end, he wakes up and he sees everything that he's done.
Yeah.
And you just you don't really get his full-on reaction, and it'd be cool to see him getting taken in.
Yeah. You got one over there, Keller?
I don't. No, I like yours.
Mine involves Gordon sitting in his van just eating the Oreos. After he tries Because why the fuck not? Right? I mean, he just killed a bunch of people. He might as well eat the Oreos.
He's on a sugar high, and he just
Yeah,
goes
he's
nuts.
just like fucking like, oh, that was stressful.
He's not getting those in prison, so
Yeah, he was like, oh, what a day. Let me eat these fucking Oreos before somebody else does. Right? It's fun.
Fun.
It's
Makes
fun.
sense to me.
It's poetry. Right?
It'd be nice if it's poetry. It'd be nice if somebody made out happy in this movie.
Right?
Yeah.
He got his Oreos.
Warren almost did. He tried to hug the camera. But yeah, that's so weird. That's
I
such a
love
weird
you,
thing.
cameraman.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug. Camera's gotta hug. I would, in the end of Goodfellas, they ended with Joe Pesci shooting at the camera, which is an homage to the old great train robbery, which has the same kind of ending. I would do the same thing with after the end of the film. I'd have Dave Caruso look at the camera and go, "Fuck you," and that's it.
Fuck yeah.
You didn't like this movie, Mark? Fuck you. No, it wasn't that bad. It
Nice.
was pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Wow. Is that it? Anything else to say about session 9? That's session 9.
That's session 9.
Session. That's just session 9, man. What's making our geek flag fly, gentlemen?
Session 10.
Session 10.
Tito, you want to start?
Yeah, two things. I kind of hate Ryan Reynolds a little bit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I feel like they flooded the market with Ryan Reynolds.
I said that. Who did I say? I said that to you.
You said it to everybody last
Yeah,
week.
you might have.
Did I say it to everybody?
Did you?
Yeah, because I remember you saying it. Too.
And you wanted to punch me, huh?
No, I
Yeah.
just made me sad, just like Tito's making me
They
sad.
flooded the
Aw.
market with Ryan Reynolds because I love Ryan Reynolds. And I watched the Ryan Reynolds movie this weekend that I thought was actually really, really good.
Oh, all right. Well,
I took a
it's
chance
happy.
and said, you know what? Forget how I'm feeling about Ryan Reynolds. I'm going to
Yeah.
watch this
Wait,
movie. It's
I want
called.
to guess what it is.
Go for it.
Is it the Nines?
No,
Okay.
it's only it's within the last 2 or 3 years.
Voices?
No, it's Six Underground.
Was it 15?
Oh,
Oh,
I
on
gotta
Netflix.
see that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that is a good flick.
I watched that. And
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a Michael Bay film. It's long, but it's fun. It's a really fun movie, and it's a team of people, which I like, on a heist of sorts, trying to murder a guy and replace him, murder like a dictator and replace him with the brother, and each person has a specific thing that they do. But what I liked most, like the action is phenomenal. The first 20 minutes of the movie are a car chase. It's very long and it's real fucking fun.
Wow.
And it's Dave Franco is in it. The guy I was talking about who I said I hated, Ryan Reynolds. And some other fun people. But the story, here's what I hate about movies now. Every movie is set up for like sequels. There's all this extra shit. It reminded me a little bit of like that Zack Snyder zombie movie where they added all this extra side shit
yeah.
that they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
they don't really explain.
That's what bothered me too.
They don't explain it because they're gonna get a
Yeah.
sequel. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this movie's never gonna get a sequel.
Why does that zombie have cybernetic implants?
Right.
Why?
What's up with the
why
blue eyes?
why are they making a big deal about these zombies that come alive when they get wet, but they don't get wet?
Exactly.
Fuck you, Zack Snyder.
There
Why
was
didn't
some
you
of that
know
in
the
this
code?
movie. Yeah, there was some of that in this movie. They're not making any sequels,
No.
so it probably could have been like 20 minutes shorter. But it's really, really fun. The action is really, really fun, and I like Michael Bay because he's doing his best fucking Tony Scott impersonation. And it's fun to watch. The other thing that I saw yesterday that is making my geek flag fly is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem trailer. I
Oh, the new
saw.
trailer.
Oh yeah,
it
Seth
looks,
Rogen.
It looks dope. And I like that they're teenagers. They're like voiced by kids, the characters.
Yeah.
So that looks like fun. It's like a CGI. It looks like CGI Coraline. It's
Oh,
weird.
yeah?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
It looked like stop motion at first when I was watching the trailer. And then,
Oh, neat.
And I'm like, no, it's CGI.
I like
but that,
I like when you can't
Yeah, you
tell.
can't
which
tell.
Is what, yeah.
but it looks fun. It looks like a funny movie, and I'm pumped for that.
Nice.
That's it.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Ow.
Careful.
I'm just going to punch the mic because I. Damn you, Tito.
Six under.
Well, I started Mandalorian. I saw the first episode. I haven't seen the second one yet. But just when I think Mandalorian couldn't deliver anything more than I love in things, giant fucking alligator. Sorry to spoil it for people. A giant fucking alligator. Thank you, Mandalorian. You know what I like. Now,
is this on
hell?
Tatooine?
How did the other 25
Why
minutes?
Is it on desert?
It's got to be Dagobah.
Stack up for
Right?
you.
Is it on Dagobah?
It's on a beach where they're holding a baptism of some sort. I don't know
Baptism
why
by
you would
fire?
do it.
Yeah.
Baptism by
Knowing
gator.
those things fucking exist, maybe they don't know that thing fucking exists.
maybe.
How the hell did you not see that thing coming from the distance? I don't care, because it's a giant fucking alligator.
Marco and his crew had the same.
Oh, did they?
Take
I haven't
on
heard
it.
that one yet.
I think it was Bruno that brought it up. Is like, that's not how physics work. You're in the water. You would see the ripple. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, he's not wrong. He is not wrong, because this
Maybe
thing
it's a force gator.
is huge. Do they? Maybe. But they don't know why would you hold
Force gator.
your baptism, what a ceremony, in water anyway?
Yeah.
What are
That's where you get
trying to do?
baptized in water.
That's what baptism is.
With those things out
Well, I
there?
don't know.
You'd
Maybe
hear the thing
maybe like
coming
you said,
'cause
they
it'd be
didn't know that
ticking.
it was there.
You know? You'd hear it coming.
That's it.
Yeah.
It is a
But
Disney
regardless,
property.
I hope nobody smiled at him.
It still had a cool.
No, I had no problem with this episode. It was a lot of fun, but it did leave me scratching my head a little bit. Like, let's take off in our jetpacks. Well, shouldn't we have done that right from the start, and maybe help the people or Mandalorians that didn't have jetpacks? Maybe grab them and go up.
Yeah.
Fuck
Because
the other
this-
Mandalorians.
I guess so.
Fuck 'em.
Because as big as a giant alligator it can only go so far up. Again,
Yeah.
Bruno brings up
Yeah, but
physics.
is it wearing Veskar? Is that what the armor's
Yeah,
called?
the Mandalorians are, but
Yeah.
not the alligators.
The
Yeah,
alligator
fuck,
is
they'll
not.
fuck that alligator
Be a
up.
lot cooler if it were.
Yeah, I know. It'd be a lot cooler if
If
you
I
were.
was wearing the fucking Veskar, I would be like, fuck this alligator.
The alligator's got a jetpack of his own.
Yeah. Should've
My
messed right in
thing
the nose.
Like, where do you think you're going?
the armorer who was conducting the ceremony is watching all this happen with everybody shooting at it to no effect, and she decides to attack it with her tongs.
Yeah.
You know, like, really?
From the inside?
Doesn't somebody
No,
try to
from
punch
the
it
outside.
too? Or am I thinking
Probably.
of a
Don't
different
ruin it
show?
too much. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish. I would love to
Oh,
see
sorry.
that.
Well,
That's
I
right, this
watched
is
it.
Only the first 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah, it's not the whole
Yeah.
episode. I wish it was. But when
madness at
when
the
I
beach.
saw that alligator, I was like, Tito's gonna love this.
Is it Robert Forster in it?
Would have been better if it did.
It's Robert
call
Forster
that?
in an alligator suit.
It would have been
He's the
cool
voice of
if
the alligator.
it would have been cool if Bill Burr came back and said, "What did you think was gonna happen? You got giant gators in this fucking water." It would have been great. I don't understand how they did not. Apparently, they weren't aware of these really large beasties in that water. You know, I mean,
Nobody
I wouldn't
was.
baptize. I wouldn't hold the ceremony in an ocean if I know it had sharks in it. Yeah, I mean, all right.
Okay.
Scary movie. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Anybody get that?
mean,
Giant fucking
call off your
alligator.
gator.
Everything needs a giant.
What else you
fucking
got? What else you got?
Clancy Brown
Yeah.
cast in the new Penguin series.
Sal
Fucking-
Maroney.
So
Oh,
you had
yeah.
mentioned that. Is
Yep.
that
As an
that's-
alligator.
That's
Sal-
a giant fucking alligator.
Clancy Brown.
Yep. No, he's Sal Maroney.
Good.
Yep.
Not nothing to. I'm looking forward to this series. I like this Batman universe. I want to see more of it, and this sounds awesome. So I'm all in. And lastly, very quickly, on a serious note, I didn't bring it up the past couple of episodes, but I do want to give a shout out to Derek Rook. A few weeks back, he had to have heart surgery.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
he is making a full recovery. He's doing very well. I
Yeah.
talked to him the other day.
Good.
But Derek Rook is a super supportive listener of our show. I mean, all our listeners are. But he, talks to me about it all the time. He listens while he draws. And like,
He's just an awesome guy.
he is an awesome guy.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know, Derek, if you're listening, we're thinking about you. We're glad you're recovering, and you are the man, sir.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
So
Derek
that's
Rick of Rough House
That's
Publishing.
right.
House Publishing,
Yes.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So check them out online and support him. Give him all your love and
Totally.
prayers.
No,
and,
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people reached
and-
out to him.
Yeah,
and- yeah, he's a good guy.
because if anybody's deserving of it, it's definitely Derek.
Totally. And that's it.
Nice. I've been playing. I'm a big vampire fan. and in general, but also Vampire the Masquerade. It's a
role-playing game.
But yeah, so it's a tabletop role-playing game centered around vampires, and they've had some video games in the past. They had a show, Kindred the Embraced.
Oh, I remember that show.
Yeah,
That was based on a
one season.
game?
Yeah, off. Yeah.
Oh, no way. That was on
So
Fox.
with like the different clans of vampires and stuff.
Nice.
So there's some games that are on newer games that are on PlayStation and I think PC too. But New York by Night and Swan Song, which piggybacking on Session, Swan Song is actually Boston based. It takes place in Boston.
Nice.
But the New York by Night is more of a digital, like, choose your own adventure book. You know, it's just pictures, nothing moves, and you just choose what to say. Whereas Swan Song is more of an actual like the role playing game. You're controlling the characters and, you know, making decisions and making actions. They're really cool, and I've been digging them. They're a couple years old, but as a vampire fan and a fan of the Masquerade, you know, the world of darkness. Sex too. Yeah, sex is great. And I also watched the World of Darkness documentary that they have, which
every time you say that, all I can think of was the guy
I
from
did,
Hot Fuzz that goes,
but it was on it was on Amazon Prime for a while.
Yeah.
And it's all about like them, how they created the game itself,
cool.
and like the world that it spawned, the fans and everything.
I do want to see that.
Yeah, they've had some really cool games in the past. There was 2 computer games. One of them was Redemption, and the next one was Bloodlines, which was like one of the best games I've ever played in general. And they've never really done it justice as far as making something. And this Bloodlines 2 has been in the works for like 7 years and still has no release date. So I don't know when we'll get it, but that's why I picked up these other ones. I was like, oh, I'll try these, and it's cool. The stories are great, the characters are cool, and I love that world. So that's making my geek flag black.
Nice.
I remember seeing a little of that when I was at UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah.
There were some friends that were really into it, and I remember them giving me some books with some awesome artwork.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the art is
Art was
awesome.
good. Yeah, but I never played it.
Somebody had given me a hardcover book of Vampire the Masquerade, and it was like, the art
The green
and the lore, and oh my god, it was great.
I like when I started writing, I didn't base it on that, but like I took a lot of stuff that they kind of like framework, like the whole idea that there's all these 13 clans. The whole lore of it is that they're descendants of Cain from the Bible, like, who killed the
first murderer.
Yeah, and he was cursed, and Cain was the first vampire. He was cursed by these angels, and it's cool, like the lore and the different types of you know, Nosferatu are in it. They're the ones that they look like the Nosferatu vampires.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, that's how it was on like the Embrace.
Right.
Yeah. Or Kindred the
Yeah.
Embrace.
Yep.
Yeah. C. Thomas Howell.
See Thomas Howell.
He was in it.
Yeah,
and
like a cop in the.
And there's the guy, one of the guys, the guy that played the Bruja, the big guy, kind of reminds me of Clancy Brown. He's like a poor man's Clancy Brown.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of Mark Anderson, I think is his name.
Not Brian Thompson.
Oh, maybe
Brian
Brian
from
Thompson.
the X-Files.
That's who it is. Yes, from the X-Files. Yes.
I love that
the
guy.
other dude that played like the main Nosferatu was the guy from the X-Files episode where they're trapped in like an away station in like the middle of nowhere, like the Arctic, and it's basically, and the little worm is
Oh, it's
infecting
freaking that guy, Bear, from the one who's in that movie that we went over for
The First Power.
Monster Cereal,
Yes.
The First Power. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's fucking Booger from Tank Girl.
Yes.
Yes, he's a ripper.
Yeah, he's the Nosferatu.
Oh, I gotta watch
he's the
this show.
Nosferatu.
It's pretty fun.
like
It's decent.
A season? Maybe?
It was only one season.
Yeah.
And
I
want to
Was it
say
originally on Fox?
I think it was. I
Yeah.
think it was one of the many Fox like single season cancellations. I have it on DVD.
Oh, cool.
I will let you borrow it.
Thank you. Dude, I love Brian Thompson. I love him. Fucking Fright Night 2. He's eating all the bugs.
Oh, the bug guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But enough about that.
Enough
Brian,
about that.
what's
Brian,
making you
hey, Giggles. What's making you... I'll call you
Giggles. Sorry, Tito was making me laugh.
Tito.
I'm going to throw Tito under the bus.
He's
He
a
was
rascal.
making me laugh.
He said sex, right?
He did, and it
Cox.
made me laugh. Cox. All I could think of was the guy from Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, it is funny.
When he said that, I'm like, Hot Fuzz. Anyway, speaking of laughing, my geek flag is being flown by Mel Brooks because History of the World Part 2 airs this week on Hulu. As of today, the recording of this episode, the fourth night of the episodes are being dropped. And I've seen them all except for tonight's episodes, and they are funny.
Yeah.
They are funny. At least I thought they were funny. There are a lot of people online
only
that are
saw the
saying
first,
otherwise,
but
but
I liked it. Yeah,
I thought they were hilarious.
I mean, the whole thing in the very beginning, the first episode, where
with the Civil War.
No. When Mel Brooks comes on and introduces it.
Oh yeah,
and they CGI'd him to make him look like,
to make him like I want to look like I did exactly in 1981, and he's all buff. Yeah, no, it was funny.
Huge cast.
Yeah, a really good cast. And I'm not going to go into all of them because you can find it online. You can watch it for yourself. It's a little hit and miss.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say some were not funny at all because everyone, I think, had a little bit of humor in it.
Well, a lot of those movies were like that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sketch, comedy movies where
the thing about this one is like he revisits sketches. Like you think, when you were watching, you thought like the Civil War one was over. No, he picks it up.
I thought it was
in like
super
the second
short.
episode.
I'm like, oh, that was it.
And then the third episode, it's like almost like a running thing, and he keeps revisiting it. He skips around in time. You know, it's not linear. He starts with the Civil War, then he goes to like Galileo, and then he goes to Genghis Khan, and then and even Jesus, which is hilarious later on because Jesus becomes like the Beatles with the apostles. Mary Magdalene is the Yoko of the group.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I think it's Judas is the Ringo, and he's like, I thought we were like the 12 apostles, and now all of a sudden with the 13. What is it? You know, with the Fab 13 instead of the Fab 12. What's going on here? It's funny. I'm just going to say, watch it. It's on Hulu. It's extremely hilarious, especially if you're a fan of Mel Brooks, which we all are here.
Absolutely.
The other thing that's making my geek flag fly, gentlemen, you guys are fans of Dick Tracy, the movie with Warren Beatty. Do you know he's been trying to hang on to the rights? And do you know how he's been trying to hang on to the rights?
Somebody told me. I don't know if it was it you?
Maybe.
Or you? I've heard this.
Because this was recently.
Refresh my memory.
So he's got the rights to Dick Tracy, and he's never been able to get a sequel off the ground since this movie came out in 1990. Warren Beatty himself is 85 now.
He's too old now.
He's too old to play him, but he wants to hang on to the rights, much like Fox did with the Fantastic Four, with the Roger Corman film. Yeah. He can hang on to the rights of Dick Tracy as long as he produces some kind of television or filmed thing as him as Dick Tracy. So what he did in 2009 or 10 was he did a thing on AMC where he came on with the film critic there.
It's a couple of them.
Leonard Maltin.
Oh,
Leonard Maltin.
Oh, he sucks.
Yeah. And he did like an interview on AMC in character as Dick Tracy. And he did the same thing like 2 weeks ago. And this time it was with Menkiewicz on AMC and Leonard Maltin.
Oh, he's...
Yeah, again. And they interviewed it. It was like a half an hour, an hour show. And it's weird. It's very strange.
Well, he's in his
80-year-old Dick Tracy.
And they're interviewing him as Dick Tracy, and it's very strange.
Did Pacino show up?
So, no. Al Pacino, Dunkachino.
Who has not seen it? You've seen it, right?
Dick Tracy, yeah.
And you have not.
I have not.
Oh,
you haven't seen Dick Tracy?
I've seen pieces
Got
and
my
pieces
diamonds.
of it.
Got my... Got door. Come on, move it. Show it. This movie is awesome, and it is so
good.
Under fucking rated.
But just to watch him like grasp onto these rights for no freaking reason, it's like you're never going to make another sequel.
He doesn't want to
give
make
him away.
He's doing
or
it
like
out of
make
spite.
one and he can
doing
play
it out of
like
spite.
do a Dick Tracy Jr. if you want.
Something.
Like, fucking pass the baton and give
something. But I think the stipulation is he has to play Dick Tracy in order to hang on to the rights.
The only reason why I have
an Apple
Watch is because I
Derek's holding it up
as a kid.
Derek's holding it up in front of the microphone. microphone,
Calling Dick
and you
Tracy.
can almost
Calling
see
Dick
the words that
Tracy.
say two-way wrist radio.
That's right.
And if he's ever kidnapped across seas, he's going to put it up his ass and give it to his son Liam one day. Or have one of us
I
deliver
want
it to
this
him.
uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass.
Damned.
Okay, give me the watch.
Give it a watch.
Give me the watch.
Died of dysentery.
Oh, God.
So that's basically it.
Nice.
I just thought that was weird, and I wanted to
It's
bring
on
that to the
AMC.
table. You can find them on YouTube as well.
Yeah, but who, other than us, I mean, let's be honest, as much as I love it, no one's clamoring for
No,
Dick Tracy.
no.
See, but you haven't even
At
seen the movie,
all.
so you
I've never seen it.
Like, you don't even understand the context.
I understand Dick Tracy. I mean,
Yeah.
I was aware of the comic
yeah.
strip back in the day.
Yeah. There was Dick Tracy.
You know, and I
gotta-
understand
you gotta
hanging
see the
on to
movie.
movie
Oh.
rights
It is
for
a good
no
movie.
freaking reason.
I mean, talk about an
Such a fun
all-star
movie.
cast.
Yeah,
Everyone's
totally.
in this
You
movie.
know, or even the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies for Sony, like hang on to the rights. Let's
Right.
You know, let's reboot the character
Yeah.
5 years after Tobey Maguire's movies. It's like, really, we needed it that soon?
Somebody did.
I
but
guess. I mean,
don't know.
nothing against Andrew Garfield.
my new goal.
But
My new goal is
I
to buy the
question
rights
Sony's-
off Warren Beatty. I want to buy
That's
the
what
rights
you
to
want
Dick
to do.
Tracy.
Go beat him with a bat. He's 80. You can take
$12.
Give me the Dick
It's all
Tracy
yours.
rights, motherfucker.
Motherfucker,
Don't you look at me.
You almost gave Moonlight's Oscar to La La Land, you fucker.
That was
Great
Faye
detective
Dunaway's
work.
fault.
Oh, yeah.
That was Faye Dunaway's fault. She was like, "Yeah, read it."
Wait a minute.
saw that. She said it
Hold
real
it.
quick. She was
Wait a
like, "Yeah, yeah,
second.
read it, read it."
Wait a minute.
See, because Faye Dunaway is pissed that he's holding on to the rights.
That's it.
Step back. He knocked up Annette Bening, and that's why we got Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. So we
All
need
right,
to
so we
thank
can be
him for
thankful.
that.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, but didn't he also fuck Madonna while he was doing that movie?
Well, wouldn't
Him,
you?
him and
It's
Madonna
the-
were with. Oh, I don't think he was with Annette Bening yet.
No.
And that
No,
betting was going to be Catwoman.
Annette Bening was Catwoman. She was set to play. They had her ready to go, and then she got pregnant with little Dick Tracy, and they
little
said
Charlie Corswell?
a pregnant Catwoman ain't gonna
With
fly
the kid.
With the kid. Go suck it.
Big boy did it. Big boy did it.
Baby did.
Big boy did it.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go. Oh, can we watch that movie tonight?
the best part of the
Please?
movie.
Love
Dude,
best part
I'm
of the
like,
movie.
I have no idea what you
movie
guys
is
are doing.
awesome.
You have to watch it.
Anybody
I'll
got
watch it first. I'll
Anybody
watch it
got
first.
anything else?
No, that was it for me.
All right. Well, listen. If you want to go and hear more about Dick Tracy, don't go to any other episodes
Because we haven't talked
Stay
about
tuned. We'll get to one. But we do talk about stuff that's just as cool as Dick
We
Tracy.
talk a lot about Dick. Yeah,
For sure. We talk a lot about Dick and sometimes Tracy.
it. Yeah.
And some...
Bob Gunn. His name was Tracy.
That's true. It was. You're right. So
Where
you
do we
like
go?
this banter?
Tracy
Are you
Walters.
having fun? Go check out more of our banter in past episodes. And Brian,
Yes.
where can they do that?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number 3.
GDpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons where you can subscribe to us. If you're not already a subscriber, please do so, because that way you'll be sure to never miss an upcoming episode. All of our social media links are there, along with our email link. Also, our Ko-fi page is there if you would like to make a small donation or a large donation. Any donation you make would be greatly appreciated. Helps keep the show going. And I think that's pretty much it, gentlemen. So thank you, as always, everybody out there, for listening.
Come on, guys. We're going to have time with our kids to provide you with this entertainment. And we're being forced back on point. Absolutely. All right, so stay tuned next time as we give you another film in the March of Madness month. Until then, for 3 Geeky Dads, I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
And we're saying, keep watching the skies. And if you got a problem with that, fuck you.
That was impressive.
You like that?
Good night.
That voice gets me a lot of... No, it doesn't. A lot of nothing.
Who's got a dead joke there? Who's got one, eh? It's a little bit of humour there for your podcast, eh? A little bit of humour.
Something to brighten up your...
Something to brighten up
Turn
your
that
day.
frown upside down.
Go on, Governor.
I'll do a chicken joke in the voice of Werner Herzog.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
The chicken was meant to cross this road to get to the other side. How he got to the other side, no one knows. No one will ever know. So thinks the chicken, I must get to that other side.
The chicken was in an existential crisis.
I saw it my duty to film this chicken as he pondered whether or not to cross the road, or in fact crossing the road would lead to further turmoil of its existence.
Did the chicken cross the road, or did the road cross the chicken?
You sound like Peter Lorre.
I know.
Well,
They're both German.
Yeah.
and suddenly Ronald Reagan entered.
I didn't mean to say that.
Mommy said to cross the road, so...
Mammy, there's a lot of krauts on this road.
The chicken crossed the
Mammy.
road.
There you are again with Ronald Reagan and Mammy.
Mammy. That's what he used to call his wife.
He did?
Come on, you guys.
Did he really call Nancy?
Yes.
I don't think he
Mammy.
did.
Yes, he did.
Let's go, Mammy.
Look it up.
I thought he called her Mommy.
Mammy,
He
I've
loved
been
jelly
naughty.
beans and called her Mammy. Or Mommy.
Spank me,
Mommy.
Mammy.
I think it was Mommy.
Mommy, Mammy, whatever. It doesn't
Spank
matter.
me, Mommy. Oh. I've been a naughty president.
As I took my tour in the White House, I did see then the leader of the world
Pull out the anal jelly
pull
beads.
out his little Reagan and in fact thrust it violently into the woman who tried to get all the drugs off the street and out of the hands of rock and roll musicians.
And I don't think it's just a plain stupidity. There are dignified stupidities, and there are heroic stupidities, and there's such a thing as stupid stupidities. And that would be a stupid stupidity.